Howdy folks, today I'm going to tell you about maybe your new favorite Mexican spirit. It's called Charanda. I've got 3 bottles representing 2 brands, 2 unaged, 1 aged. We're going to sip through them, see what we think, make some daiquiris, see how they do. Let's go! So I've talked about Charanda once before on this channel, back when I first picked up this Urupan Charanda. It's amazing, go check out that video. And in the comments of that video, some people suggested some other brands I might look for, and lucky me, I found this Gustoso here in state, which was pretty exciting. This unaged version is only $20, and the aged one is only $30, and this is a pretty good deal. So, what is Charanda, I hear you asking? Well, it comes from Michoacan, is made from sugarcane, so it is essentially a rum, but it can only be made in around the city of Urupan in Michoacan. And Michoacan, if you don't know your Mexican geography, sort of in the middle is Mexico City, and to the west of that is the state of Michoacan, and sort of in the middle of that is a city called Urupan. It's at a very high elevation, it's over 1,600 meters, which is quite high. The soil there is a sort of dark red, rich soil, and the climate apparently is perfect for growing this particular sugarcane. Now, I don't know all the rules about Charanda, a little hard to locate, but the Urupan is 50% pressed sugarcane juice in a copper pot still and 50% molasses in a column still. The Gustoso is also a mixture of pressed sugarcane and molasses distillates. It doesn't say exactly what the percentages are, and I don't think that that's a rule because Gustoso also has a pure sugarcane expression that's bottled at barrel proof, which sounds pretty good, but I couldn't get that here. There are also other brands of this out there in the world. These are the only 2 that I can pick up here in Oregon. All right, so let's taste these and see what we think. First up will be the Urupan Blanco. It does have a nice sort of funky aroma. Not quite as funky as some of your very funky Jamaicans. And not nearly as intense as, say, a Paranubes, like a Oaxacan rum. But it's very pleasant. It's got some of that grassiness of like an agricole, but tempered. It's got a little bit of a burn going down. It's 46% alcohol, but it's got kind of a nice sort of creamy kind of vanilla cream soda kind of vibe to me. Yeah, it's delicious. I mean, I'm not really a sipper, kind of a short finish, but I know it's going to make a good cocktail. So let's move on to Gustoso. I looked on their website to see what information I could find. There's not a ton of information. It is a blend of column distilled molasses rum and fresh pressed sugarcane in a pot still, but it didn't give me any percentages and not a ton of information about the process. It is 43% alcohol, so just slightly less than the Urupan, and this bottle only cost me $20. It doesn't have quite the aroma of the Urupan, not as funky on the nose. Yeah, just sort of an alcohol kind of aroma, much cleaner. Again, it's got these nice creamy mouthfeel, some like slight vanilla, but slight kind of cream soda notes again. Like if you've ever had agricole, it's got that very sort of grassy note to it, and it's got that slightly, but it's sort of in this complex mix of other flavors. For $20, oh my god, that's pretty good. I'm not sure I'm gonna sip on it a whole lot, but I'm definitely going to make some drinks. Now, let's try the aged version. I'm very curious about this. This is only 40% alcohol, and according to the website, it's the same distillate as the Blanco, but aged in new oak, ex-bourbon, and sherry casks. Again, not a ton of information. Didn't say, for example, how long it's aged. It does have a pretty good amount of color on it, so I don't know what that means. Yeah, you get some of that wood on the nose for sure. It's woodier, obviously, but I think you can taste the wood. It's got this sort of caramely, a little bit of like a spicier note. Some of those slightly funky notes are sort of tamped down, and some of the sort of vanilla cream soda sort of aspect is also sort of smoothed out. Not sure that I like this better than the Blanco. I'm not sure I prefer this to the unaged version. We'll have to see how it does in a drink. All right, it's a brief recap. The Urapan is kind of funky, pretty good. Not a great sipper, but not too bad. The Gustoso Blanco is a little hot. Got some nice sort of vanilla notes to it. Again, for $20, amazing, but probably not a great sipper either. The aged one mellows out some of the rougher notes of the Blanco, but again, I'm not rushing to sip on this bottle either. We're gonna make some daiquiris and see how they do. All right, let's mix them up. We did it. We made some daiquiris. I'm gonna taste these. I'm gonna start with the Urapan. See how that is. I mean, it smells good. That is a lovely daiquiri. It's very bright. It's got like a slight funk to it. It's got a nice kind of lingering aftertaste. The Charanda really kind of lingers on the palate a bit. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's delicious. Let's move on to the Gustoso Blanco. Got a certain fruitiness, like right sort of in the mid palate. Almost tastes like a grapefruit, maybe. Got that again, that sort of light funkiness, kind of a slight grassiness. That's delicious. That daiquiri, it is slightly different than the Urapan. Urapan is just sort of more of a sort of a rounder vanilla kind of all around, just sort of good rum. This one has got a slightly fruitier vibe to it. Like I said, like a kind of a grapefruit. Very interesting. All right, we're gonna try the aged Gustoso now. Let's give this a shot. I typically like to make my daiquiris with aged rums just for a little complexity. This might be just a ticket. Yeah, you get a little bit of that grapefruitiness from the unaged, but it's got this sort of caramely vanilla kind of apple overtone. Ooh, it's also it's like very bright. The lime this is really working out great. The lime is shining, but not overwhelmed. The rum is really supportive of the other ingredients. This is delicious. I'm gonna have to maybe decide which is my favorite, but I don't want to. So an Urapan is the most sort of, I think, well-known one. It's the one I've seen around town the most. But I'm gonna say the Gustoso makes a more interesting daiquiri. It's got this sort of grapefruity vibe, and the aged one is pretty good. I mean, that's a solid daiquiri with some pretty interesting flavors in it. And that bottle, the aged bottle, only costs $30. Terrific. Okay, I guess that's it. I'm going to enthusiastically endorse all three of these bottles. They're terrific. You could definitely come up with some delicious drinks to make with these. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to gently tap that like button. We will see you next time.